The crack of something small thrown against his window wakes him up at 1 in the morning. The sky lies in utter blackness as he peers out and waits for his eyes to adjust. Standing below his window is Ignacio, whose scraggly black hair floats gently with each gusty push. The noctambulant lifts both his hands in the air, one clutching the neck of a bottle whose contents are a noticeable golden brown even in the darkness, and the other a brown bag that Andreas can only assume is full of quenepas. Within moments, the poet has managed to escape the confines of his room. He has not bathed since the day before, and he is still dressed in his school uniform. "¿Qué hay, cabrón?" Ignacio says. He offers Andreas the bag first, and indeed, when he reaches in, what he procures is a ball no larger than a quarter whose rigid green shell he cracks with his teeth to produce the slimy golden nut. He places it on his tongue and sucks on the juice until the exterior has become stringy and stuck between his teeth. "Oye," he says, perhaps already intoxicated, "que homosexuales son las quenepa." The poet follows the lead of his friend up the steps ascending the hill to the illuminated house sitting at its summit. By then, they have each taken 3 swigs of the whiskey, swirled it in their mouths, and shivered at the burning of their throats. Ignacio raps his knuckles on the door. Ananas answers it. Andreas beams lovingly. "I've brought the poet," Ignacio shouts into the living room. Cheers erupt from the other local delinquents sitting on the sofa with their own bottles in one hand and rolls of weed or tobacco in the other. Roberto smiles drunkenly with his glinting white teeth. "Let him recite something for us." "No," Ananas says. "He's not drunk enough yet." She lifts from the coffee table a bottle of Bacardi, whose cap has gone missing, and brings it to his lips like a Eucharist. The poet takes the bottle from her and swallows once, twice, before lowering it and gasping for fresh air. "Coño," he says, before taking another swig to more cheers. In no time at all, he finds himself staggering over rhymeless sonnets so slurred that no one seems to care enough about what he is saying, for they simply take more swigs from their own bottles in confirmation that they are still alive. Andreas tries to focus around the room with his blurred vision. He sees, of course, Ignacio tied up close to Roberto and Pedro. They have come to the consensus that they will successfully partition a blunt the width of a thumb, but Roberto has fallen asleep on Ignacio's shoulder. His snore is barely louder than the conversations occurring across the room. In the back corner are Cami and Teodor. They seem to stand in some form of embrace, and there is a perpetual sucking noise coming from their lips, but Andreas for the life of him cannot get to the truth of what they are doing because it is so disjointed. He blinks, and he finds himself away from the party and by the creek near the papaya grove, and he is sharing with Ananas the string-knitted hammock hung between 2 impossibly tall flamboyant trees. He watches a rosy flower detach itself from a branch and fall onto the meniscus of the creek, bobbing gently in the water. Around them, as ever, the coquilles chant their symphony. Ananas is snuggled against his neck with a hand resting on his rising diaphragm. He feels her cool breath against his carotid in the hot night air. His own arm is wrapped under her waist, and he feels the small of her back with his fingers. He breathes in the cauliflower smell of some of her golden hair that has fallen too close to his nose. "Ananas," he whispers. "Andreas," she whispers. She lifts her head to look him in the eyes, and he can see her emerald irises glowing in the dark. "Can I kiss you?" The actress smiles. She tucks her face back into his neck and continues her normal routine of breathing love into his capillaries. "You'll regret it in the morning," she says. "Why's that?" "Because I'm drunk, and so are you." "It wouldn't matter. We don't have to let it matter." He feels the bristles of her hair as she shakes her head. "Besides," she says, "what would Chloe think?" He watches the sky and tries to pick out the stars amid the large blackness of space from those in his own eyes. "Yes, you're right, I suppose." In May of that year, Ananas resolved to create a distance between herself and her classmates at Corona de Jesus, the private education institution which Andreas still attends, but which Ananas has given up for the Institución de Artes de Puerto Rico. This distance hurt Andreas the most, and Ananas knew it would push him over to Chloe. Can you tell me again why you broke my heart?" Ananas laughs. Andreas thinks it is a lovely laugh. "It's a fair question." She blinks. "Because you need to realize, Andreas, that living in the past won't teach you anything about the future."